Hey guys, as always, welcome to Tech Talk Thursday. If you don't mind hitting that thumbs up button so I know you're here, I can actually see who's here. And if you want to put in the comments where you're from, that's great. We're going to have some fun today talking about a lot of different devices, answering your questions as we always do here on Thursday and having some fun. I should set the countdown timer for 3 minutes actually because it takes a little bit of time before we get going. But it's great to have you here. Again, thanks for those thumbs up. Appreciate you clicking that. I know you're here. And if you put a comment in, that's great. And we will get started in just a few minutes. A lot of really cool things going on. I can't wait. I got a big surprise, a big reveal. We're also doing some other really cool things that I want to talk about today. And then obviously answer the questions that I can for you. So we're getting ready to go. Just give it a few minutes here and we will get started. I'm going to drink a little bit of water. And again, if you don't mind hitting that little thumbs up button, that would be great. That lets everybody know we're here. And obviously we'll have some good energy today and have some fun. I see people starting to come in. There we go. There we go. VM, hey, there you are. Hey guys, Columbus, Ohio, good to see you. Here we go. We're getting ready to get rolling. I like it. About 40 more seconds, we'll get started. Beth Ann, hey, good to see you again. Hey, good to see you over there. Everybody's coming in. Beth Ann, I love it. You're coming in from Tucson again. I love to see everybody come back and get a little bit of energy. Like I said, we got the community going here, which is a lot of fun. Gabriella, hey, good to see you. I'm glad to see you here this week. Excited. We're going to have some fun. Some real cool news. We're about ready to pass 10,000 subscribers. So the little channel that could, we're starting to grow, which is just fantastic. People are getting involved. But we're going to get going in 10, 9, 8. We're almost there. We're counting down as people are showing up. And people typically show up as we go here for a little bit of a break, a little discussion on tech. So we are ready to go. Let's get the countdown timer out of there. Okay, guys, welcome. I'm glad you're here for the show. Watching from Poland. Good to see you in Poland. I'm glad you're here. A lot of cool people coming in, which is what I always love. A couple really cool things. So on Monday, the Note Air will be here. I think I'll be one of the first people with it. I did have a discussion with Voya, who I love. Absolutely. We're going to do some cool stuff together. I won't get into that. I've got some surprises. He's going to do a deep review the following week. So next week, I will do an unboxing of that device so we can see how it feels. But then we're going to really rock with that deep. We'll have Voya do the deep reviews of it, but I'm excited about that. Hey, good to see you. I'm glad. Several hours of sporting activities. That's great. I need stretching. That's so funny. Well, I got a little secret for you, Sanchez. I am going to be going to a massage at 2:30 right after this. I'm super pumped. So I need that. I've got to get my back. My shoulders are starting to come forward a little bit. But I've got some good news. So we've got the Note Air coming on Monday. So we're going to be able to do an unboxing and get that going. And then on the following week, it just shipped today, which is the 15th. So it's coming from Canada. We have Aquila coming. Now, this is a 42-inch e-ink device, which is going to be unbelievable. It's just the main device from QuirkLogic and the paper company, but they're sending me one of their big ones. It's the first thing a company's ever sent me. I'm super pumped about opening it up and reviewing it and then looking at the workflow and things that we're going to be doing. And so we've got the Note Air coming. We've got the Aquila coming. So we've got some really cool videos coming next week that are going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to be working on things. Hey, from Belgium, good to see you. Hey, Beth Ann asked our first question. She asked about the ETA on the paper update. That's a great question. It's looking like, and I just had a conversation with them this morning, that the next software update from paper will be the 1st of November. And they're doing a lot of cool things. It does look like they're testing the split screen, and we're going to get some real cool technical updates. So that's really cool. I'm super pumped about that happening. That's going to be a good thing. So look for it, Beth Ann, November 1st. Look for the update. I can tell you one thing. They communicate very good with their clients. Like I said, they're sending me Aquila, so it's awesome. I'm going to be able to do some use cases. We're going to open up the King Kong of e-devices here, 42 inches in the wild. That's going to be crazy, and I'll be using that for some things. I'll probably put it back there in some of the videos, which will be fun. Is it a TV? Yeah, it's a big one. Let me see if I can find a picture of this thing. This thing's coming in, and I'll take a picture. Hold on one second. I'm going to drag it in and see if I can find it. And you got to see, I should have this ready. Quirks, and I'll see it. But yes, so we're just to answer the question. We are coming in. The next device, I'm sorry, the next update for paper will be in November, right around November 1st. Okay, and like I said, they're doing a pretty good job of really, really, really working with the customer, which I really, really like. Okay, let me show you a picture of this thing, guys. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Go to desktop, download, and now I show you this thing. It's pretty crazy. Okay, there it is. Can you guys see that? Let's see. Let's make it bigger. Let's see. Can I make it bigger? I think I can make it bigger. Let's see. Let's see. No, let's see. Make that thing bigger. Let's see. How do I make that bigger? I'm learning all this software stuff. But anyways, you can see kind of the size of this lady on here with it. Oh, here it is. So you can see that is the Quilla. So it's literally a 42-inch e-ink display device that's used really in corporate situations. I think it retails for about $5,000. So it's going to be crazy to bring that thing in, and we're going to do some reviews on it. And the thing that's cool about it is you can do some interactive content. So it is the same company as the paper. In fact, just a little history behind QuirkLogic and the Quilla. This is their first project. They actually manufacture this, where the paper is a third-party device, but it's a really cool company, and they're doing some cool stuff. So they're sending that down for review, so I can't wait to get that. That's going to be crazy. So I got the Note Air and that coming next week, which is going to be great. Randy asked if he just received an email verifying the address for Remarkable, which is fantastic. Typically, what we're looking at is about 10 days to 15 days once the email address is released. Now, I'm seeing some strange stuff happening. Some batch 3 people are getting the Remarkable 2 before batch 2. There's some screw up there. And there was some mess ups in China, too. I would tell you, it's not just Remarkable. Note Air was stuck in China for me for 5 days. It just released. So, but you're looking pretty good. I mean, you're looking 15 days. Worst case scenario, I'm saying 20 days. So sometime in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you should have your Remarkable in hand, which is great. Okay, so that's great. And Randy, so just follow me. I will keep doing like updates. Probably tomorrow or Sunday, I'll do an update on the Remarkable 2 shipping stuff because I'm getting data, right? Everybody's sending it to me. But we did have some weird stuff. Some batch 3 people got it before batch 2, and that created a crisis. Like some of the Facebook groups, people were fighting. It's like, well, it's coming. I know. It's just they're not like QuirkLogic with the communication, hardly at all. They communicate, but not the best. Let's keep the questions coming. China lost my paper cover from Good Reader. Yeah, China's had some issues. I think it's not always these companies. I think DHL and the connection to the warehouse is what's causing problems. That's why I'm hoping my Note Air gets here Monday, because I've got the DHL stuff. It's in Hong Kong. It's leaving today. It should be here. Chip, good to see you, brother. I'm glad you're stopping in. We're having fun here. As you know, this is kind of a wild channel. We're having a bunch of stuff going on. Hey, from Berlin. I love it. All right, we got another question. Hey, what's your opinion on the writing experience of the Note Air versus Remarkable 2? That is the question, okay? So I don't know. Monday, first thing I do is I'm going to do my unboxing. Then I'm going to stop the camera, and then I'm going to get it all set up, and then I'm going to get the pin. I'm going to do it live. So I'm not going to do it like I got to stop the camera because I got to get the device set up. Once the device is set up, then I'm going to test the writing experience, not live like this, but I will do the recording live. I want to get the actual emotion of me, and I'm going to put the Remarkable 2 next to it Monday night, whenever it comes. I don't care if it's 10 o'clock at night. So sometime Monday, I will have the Note Air, hopefully, if DHL comes through. Tracking says it's coming. And then I'm going to put them next to each other, and we'll take a look at the writing experience. And then I have this new macro lens. It's a 90 millimeter Sony macro lens. I used it in the last video. Still learning all this stuff, guys. I kind of suck at this, but I'm getting a little better. And I'm going to zoom in on the pen so you can kind of see what it does. But I definitely will get that Monday. So just hold on. It's Thursday. 5 more days. 4 or 5 more days, we'll have the Note Air, and we'll have some good experimentation from that. VMS, out of your experience with all the devices you have tested, what are some of the minimum software requirements which have a dedicated e-ink device should have? I think because they're so cloud-based that all of them, I haven't had any issues with any of them, okay? I mean, all the devices are working, and I haven't had any, I think all the software, I think that one of the things I'm learning about, not the Remarkable, but the Supernote, is they have a little bit higher specs, but I really can't tell the difference. I think the e-ink's so a low display of a monitor that I think the minimum requirements is what they're producing, and they're all working very well. One of the things that I am going to do is I'm going to, one video series that somebody suggested, which I think is really good, is when I get the Note Air, what I may do is go into my club where I play golf, and I'm in a club here, and I do my events there, and I might get a table, and I might set up all the events, just to see all the devices, and see if this makes sense. And then have people that have never used ink come and try the Remarkable, the Lumina, the Note Air, the Quaderno, the paper, and just get their opinions, right? And do like a Coca-Cola taste test. I'm old enough to remember them, Coke versus Pepsi. But instead of it always being my opinion, I'm thinking what I'd like to do is do some other people. That was a suggestion. And if I videotape this right, then basically what I would do is have like 10 people come in and use each device and say, oh, I like this feature, I like that feature, I like that feature, and just have them on a table. I don't know. It's just a stupid idea. I might do it if you guys think it would be cool. And that way, it's just not my thoughts on these things, because obviously some people love the feel of certain devices and others, and I want to make sure you're getting a well-rounded thought process and having fun. I mean, I want to make this fun. And eventually, maybe some of you can get together. Like I do events and stuff, so it'd be great to have some of you come, which would be great. But that's a great question, VM. I have not had any issues. Some people say like the Lumi or some of the Onyx products, because they do so much, lag a little bit. I have not been using it enough. In fact, it's sitting back here. I have not had time this week to really get into that, so I don't want to discuss that as far as a negative. I have nothing negative about it yet because I haven't been using it much. Right now, the Remarkable 2 and the paper are actually my daily rotational things. I have like a day job. I coach. I do my podcast. I'm building a new journal. There's a lot of things that I'm doing. I'm building a journal for these e-ink devices. And in doing those things, I'm using those devices. Not saying those other devices are bad. I'm just saying I haven't dove into them that much. I am going to dive into the Note Air because I like the form factor, and I really want to see if this thing works to be a really strong Remarkable 2 competitor. And again, the 13.3-inch devices, then the Lumi would be like the paper and the Quaderno. But I like my paper. It's got some issues, but I like it. It's great. So it's awesome. Thank you. There is that one thumbs down. Every video I do, I have like 100 thumbs up, and then I always get the one thumbs down. There's somebody that really doesn't like me out there. You got to love YouTube. There's always somebody that just, I don't know what it is. Everything I put out, they're like, thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down. It's so funny. Good thing it doesn't bother me too much, but I just find it funny. Okay, let's get back to the questions. Yeah, I always get one thumbs down. If you look at my videos, like no matter, I could put up and we could cure cancer here on the Morning Coach channel. Like, we found the cure for cancer. We're so excited. Yes. And somebody's going to thumbs down. There's always a hater out there. It's so funny. It's just jealous people, I guess. Anyways, can you update Kobo review? I'm considering dumping my Kindle. Beth Ann, I got to tell you, it's in next to my bed. I absolutely love my Kobo. I'm using that thing every day. I absolutely love it. I had one problem last night. I tried to adjust the brightness. I'm reading Heart-Shaped Box. It's a horror. I like horror books and thriller books. And last night I was trying to adjust the light. I wanted to make it a little bluer, and I went to adjust it and it froze. And I shut it off. It was kind of frustrating because I was right in the middle of an important part of the book. I shut it off, turn it back on, it was fine. But I love it because you press it in the little top, and it's a Kobo Forma. It's a little more expensive, but you press the little page thing, and you mark your page. That device is like the perfect size. And I have it in the bedroom, or I have it here, but I love the Kobo. I've been buying, and then obviously I buy Kobo books, but they also have a library feature. I haven't done that yet, but there's a library feature and some called OpenWrite and a couple other things that you can use on there. So you don't even have to pay for your books. It is kind of cool. Like I do like the Kobo world, but the thing is you lose your Amazon library. So that's what you got to weigh, right? And, Beth Ann, you're into these devices, so maybe like if you go with the Note Air or, you got the paper, but to me, reading on those, it's not the same as grabbing that Kobo in bed, right? And just reading it. So that's probably one of my favorite devices right now. I use it every single day. I mean, I read 2 times a day. So it's definitely was probably one of my better investments. And I don't get paid to say that. Like, I don't get paid. I just really like the Kobo. I like the Kobo Forma. I hear that the H2O or the liquid one's good too, but I really like the Forma. It's a little bit bigger. It's like a real book. It just feels like a real book. I like that. Christoph says, I think Remarkable is getting late again. What do you think? We've been seeing some emails, right? They're kind of blaming the tsunami, that they're saying there's an issue in China. I don't think, and the only reason I can say this is I don't think it has to do with Remarkable this time. I think it's more China, because I had the same thing happen with Onyx. So if it was just Remarkable, then I could say, oh, they're kind of fudging and trying to move things around. I don't think they are. I mean, people are getting their devices. I'm holding true to that schedule. I'm going to research more tonight and tomorrow and do my update. I do update every 3 or 4 days. People tend to like those videos. So I'm going to do it all the way through batch 11. I think it's important. I don't want people batch 2 then say, heck with the other people. No, this community, I want to make sure we're getting the devices out. But I don't think it's Remarkable at this point, because I can tell you my experience out of China with Onyx has been just backed up in the warehouse. So I think, if anything, it may be pushed out a couple days, as they've said in the email. But I know it was like this big groan from the community. Another email. But at least they're emailing. At least they're getting information out. It's hard for me to hammer on a company. I mean, the device is really great. I mean, I think the form factor is great. They've done a great job on it. Some people have said the pin kind of comes off in a bag. I'm going to do a bag test, but it holds. The folio's really good. I mean, they did a great job. But it's just the way they've handled their launch and their communication hasn't been the best, and I think that's turned off a lot of people. But once they get the device, I think people are happy. The other thing we got to look out for, and Voya brought this up. Voya's been talking about the subscription model, and they haven't denied it, right? So that they may have a cloud-based subscription model. Again, I'm not against that. I just think I wish they would, be a little more forthcoming in their discussions with their client base. I think people would be more understandable of it, and then if they just spring it on it. It's not that they have or said they're going to do it. Again, it's a gray area, and Voya did a video on it, but there may be something coming. Small company needs that extra revenue. How do you do it? Just create a cloud-based subscription model, right? So it could be happening. All right, let's keep going. Chaplain James White says, thank you for suggesting the Lamy with the Remarkable. I bought a Supernote A5, and I put the plastic nib in the Lamy, and it does a great job on the Supernote. Better writing than the stock pen. That's awesome. That's a little ninja trick. So, yeah, you can take the Lamy. You can try the different nibs in the different devices. The only one you can is in, obviously, the Sony devices. But the Supernote is a great device. You have the A5, and that's one that I got to get. In fact, somebody mentioned in a post today that isn't the real Remarkable 2, because I did the A6X challenge yesterday. I don't have a Supernote A5, so when I put these next to each other, Supernote A6 looks real small. But the truth is, the Supernote, they make good products. It's just weird that all these products seem to be coming from China, right? Except the Remarkable and then Quarks Logic, but even their stuff, the Sony stuff, is coming from over there. But it's interesting. But the Supernote has a unique feel. Some people don't like it, some people do. It's just up to you. Once you try it, it's a fast thing. It's like anything else. It works, but is it up to your standards in the way you like to utilize things? And again, you can change some of the nibs and try something else. And people like Chaplain here, James White, kind of give some suggestions and stuff on what they do. That's what makes this community great. If you look at my videos, a lot of times I'm not the best at video. I'm working on this. Sometimes they're out of focus. I don't even know how to use cameras. I'm just learning, guys. I'm buying new cameras, new lenses. So you're growing with me, but the comments are where the real power is, because we do have a lot of great people here. Awesome, thanks. I appreciate that. Peter says, do you find any applications you tried on the Max Lumi slow and crashing? So Peter, here's the problem I have with the Lumi. I don't use it as much, and I said this in that video, that it's too good. And the reason is because a lot of the functionality of it, I'm so used to grabbing my iPad, and everything looks slow to my iPad. Even the computer looks slow to my iPad Pro. I mean, I'm not an Apple fanboy by any means. I mean, I have their watch. I've been in their Ecosphere. I'm going to order the iPhone 12 Friday morning before golf. But at the end of the day, tomorrow, I'll order the iPhone 12. The truth is, the iPad is just such a wonderful device that when I go to do something like Facebook or, even read something or the internet, I just grab the iPad. I don't grab the Lumi. And I know I should be using it more, but it's just not as quick and fast, and it's just disappointing to me because I can use the iPad. And I hope that makes sense, because it's not a hit on the Lumi at all, because it's a great device. I'm not hitting it. A lot of people love it. It does a lot of great things. It's an awesome device. It's just I've got an iPad that I've used for years that works real well for the things that I wanted to do. The thing that I don't like the iPad is to take notes on it. I can't stand it. It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't feel right. I don't want to put a Paperlike on it. And so I use the Paper or the Remarkable 2. And so for me, it's more about the experience with these devices. So I have nothing bad to say about the Lumi. It's not as fast as the iPad, but nothing is. And I think that's really important. Okay. So I haven't had problems crashing. I've used it a little bit. I haven't used it enough to really give it a thorough review. Voya did a great job in his deep reviews, but I haven't had it. In fact, it's sitting over here beneath my Supernote, my Remarkable One, and my Google Pixel. It's just sitting there. I haven't even used it in the last couple of days because I've been really busy with like my real work, so my real job. So it's been kind of crazy. Monday, the internet will explode because we all want to know, Air or Remarkable? P.S. Yes, I'm excited about that. I think Goody Reader did a review, but they didn't talk about the writing experience. So they may do something over the weekend, but I know I'm going to. I think that's what everybody's waiting for. I want to see what that new pin is on the Onyx Note Air and see what does it do with the tip and how does that work. So sometimes YouTube takes a while to render. But I would say if I get it at noon, it'll be up by 3. If I get it at 3, it'll up by 6. If I get it at 6, it'll be up by 10. But sometime Monday, we're going to get it. I'm going to do a super fast one. I'm going to unbox it. We're going to turn that sucker on, get it set up, and then test the writing. So I'm excited about that. Hey, Takuro, good to see you. Peter, what features do you think a student or you want paper to implement on it, which the Quaderno has? Peter, great question. I think number one is split screen. It needs split screen. And they're getting that. I think it's going to be there. The calendar on it is really good on the Quaderno. They have this really unique PDF calendar that I think the paper could bring over at some point, but I know they're not working on that. I know they're working on the battery. By the way, the battery update works. My battery was running down on the paper constantly, and they did give me a battery upgrade, and it does work. If anybody needs that, you can email me at YouTube. I think do I have that in here? Yeah, YouTube at morningcoach.com, and I will forward the email from there. It does work, okay? So if you have a paper and you're having issues with the battery, email me at youtube at morningcoach.com. I will forward you the email they sent me. You do this little kind of 8-tap thing and turn off and turn on this, and it works. I think they're going to upgrade it in the software update in November, but if you are having battery issues, please let me know, and I'll send that to you. Okay, but I think split screen is the key thing because you can have 2 documents on each side. That's why I use the Quaderno. When I do use it, I have my daily planner on one side and my daily notes on the other side. Again, I've gone to more the Remarkable 2 now for that. I don't have split screen on Remarkable 2, but I keep my notes on Remarkable 2, and the Quaderno is kind of taking a side step over, even though I think the Quaderno is a fine device. The one thing I don't like on the Quaderno is the file system. I still haven't figured it out, and I haven't gotten any hints on it. It's just tricky. Compared to these other devices, you go online, you set them up, you know where this folder is. Theirs is just kind of a quirky kind of deal. But it is a good device. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. I just don't, it hasn't managed to get it to stick in my workflow, where if the paper had split screen, it's really going to help that product. Okay, great. I'm glad you liked the idea. Thanks, everybody. You could do it, add a survey. I like that. You like the idea with the people. Great. Thanks for liking the stream. Thanks for letting me like that. Or they just dislike seeing a 0. That could be. I like it. Maybe it's a little OCD. They got to hit the negative next to it because they're a little OCD. I love it. Okay, thumbs up. Beth Ann, where can you join with your book club, fiction club? Oh, I will do that, Beth Ann. Once we get a little more organized here, I will start a fiction book club. If you guys like horror, I read a lot. So just so you know, I try to read 3 books a week. I know it's insane. I try to read 1 or 2 nonfiction books. That includes audio and 1 fiction book. Sometimes the size of the fiction book bleeds into 2 weeks or maybe even 3 weeks, depending on what I got going on. But I love to share you my reads. My fiction work is really horror-based. It's kind of thriller horror, typically is what I read. But I will definitely share that, and that's a great idea. We put a little book club together here on the channel as we start growing. Love to talk to you about what I'm reading. With Morning Coach, we just did Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, which is a book about getting things done. I'm actually picking the book for next week. And I got some news on that. As you know, I don't really want to announce this yet, but as you know, I do a paid podcast. Like my podcast started in 2009. That's how I'm able to do this. It actually started in 2005. And then in 2009, I went to a membership site at $30 a month and did Mondays for free. My podcast is what I'm known for. That's what people pay for. It's this energy they get in the morning. I start people off with energy in the day. I've got some surprises coming with that I think we're going to integrate into YouTube that I think is going to help everybody get some great content and for free. Okay, so that's going to be another arm of what I'm doing, something we're going to do with the podcast. So stay tuned for that. Again, I don't like to sell on this channel. That's not what we're about. We're about tech reviews and stuff, but this is going to be something cool that I can give you. And I do like to give things, and that's what we're going to be working on. So anyways, in that podcast, we've done a book study for the last, 15 years. Every week, every month, basically, I bring a new book in, and those are nonfiction productivity style books. So yeah, Beth Ann, I love that question. I would love to do that, and I think that's something we can do in the future as I'm learning how to build this channel up a little bit and bring things for everybody that can add value. For me and everything I've done in my life, I just continue to put value out there. And then people come find out about me and they hire me for coaching or join my systems. It just works for me. I like that better than having to sell. And I'll say, hey, I just started this thing. And, if it adds value to somebody's life, it's fantastic. And I just keep pushing that out there and trying to help as many people as I can. And some people work with me and it just works. And it's always worked. I started off with the podcast from 2005 to 2009 and did it free. And it was top 25 in the world back then. And my claim to fame is beating Oprah and Ellen. And that was a good thing. And then I kind of just disappeared and went behind the curtain, and 1,200 people started paying me for the podcast. And that's sustained my life for a long time. I'm very blessed to have wonderful people in my life that have contributed to my content. And a couple years ago, YouTube, I put a video up on The Remarkable, just playing around. I've tried this. I tried doing motivational stuff. Nobody wants motivational stuff on YouTube, not that kind of head kind of talking stuff. And then the tech stuff took off. So I was like, all right, we got to wait. And now I've met Voya, and we're going to do some cool stuff together. His channel's going good. So you guys are awesome, and I appreciate you supporting me, and I'm just going to bring the value and the energy. That's what I do, and hopefully inspire you to get out and do some new things and try some new things. I live a very unique life because I've taken some risks. Not all of them have worked out, but I'm still taking risks and having fun. See, I even got a negative on here. There's a negative. We get them. All right, let's keep going. Somebody asked, did you receive the Note Air? What did you think of it? Carl, the Note Air will be here Monday, okay? So we'll be rocking that. Omni asked, JB, please compare exported PDFs from all devices. I will do that. That's a great question. I know the paper does a really good job because, again, they have that big device that I'm getting, the Quilla, and that they've built that. The other devices, I haven't exported a PDF yet with the annotations and stuff on that. So I need to do that, and I think that's a great idea there. Second question, how secure is the Precious Notes? So how are the notes and security? That is not my area, and I need to do a better job on that, to be candid. I've never really worried about security because my stuff's always positive stuff, right? So I don't have a lot of stuff that's anybody could use, or if anybody wanted, I would give it to them, right? So I do understand that's a big issue for a lot of people that use these devices in therapy and those type of things. I know that the Sony devices have a special mark on them. They have this little thing here that you can use for logging in and logging out, which is an extra security feature. Most of these have keyword passwords that you can put on your device that you can log in. But for me to say I'm an expert on security would be wrong. I need to get more well-versed in that. I will ask Voya about that too. Voya and I have been talking more and more on how we can work together to put more content to help everybody. And so, he's just so deep. He really understands the devices, takes the time where I'm kind of on the surface. So we're going to try to come up with some things to help everybody. So it's a great question. And the third question was, will applying a Paperlike for the iPad, will it make the writing on Onyx better? I have been hearing that. I don't know if it'll fit right, but I have been hearing that, and I suck at putting the screen protector on. In fact, I got another screen protector for the Lumi. I haven't put it on yet. I got this healing shield, which is supposed to be a good one, and I will do that in a video sometime in the next couple weeks, or next week, so we can test the Lumi. But it may make the writing on the better. It's not that the writing is bad. The Onyx is okay. It's just not like the Remarkable, right, or the Paper. Or the Sony devices. It's not bad. It's just not great. I lost my flip-flop. It's not bad, right? It's just not as good. And I think if you did do that, maybe that could make things a little bit better. Did the paper have a table of contents and hyperlinks to the page? Great question. I need to check that. Beth may know that. One of the things we need to get with them on is their PDF enhancements. And I know they're working on that. That's one thing I told them. Like, hey, listen, I said, if you could get your device just a little bit better with PDFs and really make it the best reader, I think they would have an advantage, because the Lumi now, specifically with the front light, has kind of taken the advantage, right, as a reader, especially if you've got academic journals and stuff, because you got 13.3 inches, plus you can use third-party readers on there. So I'm really anxious to see what the new update, the paper, is going to do if they make their reader better. Arnaud says, hey, from France, great. Thank you. I'm glad you like the videos. I really appreciate that. Beth says, I'm trying the Lumi for reading. It's okay, but not in bed. Yeah, it's hard. It's a big device. It's heavy. It's just is what it is. It's heavy. I had to get stronger there. But it is a big device. I mean, it's right here. So, I mean, just imagine trying to read this in bed. You know what I mean? So look at that thing. I mean, so big is good, and then you can see I have trouble getting the screen protector on there. Voya didn't put it on. I don't know if you need it, but it is, I got to tell you, it is an awesome device, man. I pick it up and I want to use it. I just don't grab it a lot because I just haven't taken the time to really set it up and utilize it with all its functionality that it has, right? So it is a truly amazing device. They did a great job with it, but I need to use it more, and I'll be able to get back with you with more. I need about 73 hours in a day. It would help me out. If you could give me just 2 days and 1 day, I could get so much more done. Your positivity on the hater situation, so inspirational. Hey, thank you. No, you know what? It is what it is. I mean, when you put yourself out there, I mean, you should have seen, and I hope you guys don't mind these little sidebars and discussions, but in 2009, when I went from free to paid, we had I was getting 40 to 50,000 downloads a day on my podcast. And I made a mistake. I'm just going to be honest. I made a mistake because I didn't tell anybody. My dog passed away, Chaos. And I went to Colombia, and I went to Tayrona Park, the most beautiful place in the world. It's got the highest mountain peak in the world. And I went there, and I was on the beach. And I was thinking what I was going to do with my life. It was tough. We weren't making a lot of money. Back then, you didn't get a lot of advertising on the podcast. I said, you know what? I'm going to go back. And when I come back on Monday, I'm going to announce that we're going paid. And I went to $20 a month at that time. It's now $30, but I went $20 a month. And at that time, we had 12,000 people in a website that we had built, one of the first membership sites on the internet. And those 12,000 people got pissed. A lot of people got angry, excuse my language, but they got angry for me because I started charging. And so I had, and they're still on iTunes today. If you Google Morning Coach, go to iTunes, like 46 negative reviews. Like, you're a jerk. I can't believe you're charging for this. But I was at a point in my life when we were losing our house. There was nobody paying us for advertising. I had one of the top podcasts in the world, and this was way before any of this stuff was going on, right? So nobody even knew what podcasting was. And so I was just, trying to make it. And luckily, 1,231 people came with me, and a lot of those people are still with me, and that's what has allowed me to build this business and do the YouTube like I do. But it was a tough time. So talking about haters, I've been there. I mean, I've had them my entire life. I do a good morning. I've done it 4,000 times, and people have said, oh, that sucks. I did a couple of them here on YouTube, and they're like, man, I would never listen to that. And I'm like, well, thank God 1,200 people did back when I was struggling, or I wouldn't be here today. So it's been a real great journey, and you got to stay positive. And anytime you put yourself out there, there are going to be people that are jealous. There's people that are going to hate on you. I've gone from, a guy that, was just surviving to keynoting. I've been with Gary Vaynerchuk and Tim Ferriss and shared the stage, and then kind of pulled back and really been semi-retired just doing my podcast. And then I decided to get into this YouTube thing, and I'm having a blast. And there's going to be people that hate. I mean, it just is, as we get more successful and we build the community more and more, I've seen it before. It happens, and people just get angry and frustrated. And some people just, I don't know, they're just miserable. So we just keep plowing ahead. All right, let's keep going. Is there an e-ink device smaller than the 10.3 that runs Android? Just the Note Air that I believe will be the smallest Android device. Don't quote me on that. There may be something on the periphery there, but I would say the Note Air is the smallest Android 10 device, which we'll have Monday. We'll check it out. I don't think there's anything smaller, but I may be wrong on that. Larry asks, hey, Larry, good to see you. Batch 2, you replied to me yesterday. You were exactly right. One day after Remarkable said delay of the week, I just received my DHL shipping confirmation for Monday. Yes, I have been staying up on this. I really have. So I knew. I had a feeling. I've been watching it. I've been researching it. Been watching the Facebook. Yes, there's some delays. I honestly don't think it's Remarkable's issue. I believe it's out of China. I think that's what it was. Okay, I was talking about tablets to my friend, and he knew My Deep Guide. Then I said, dude, you got to check out Morning Coach. And he was like, nah, My Deep Guide is better, but JB has better energy. That's so funny. Hey, I'm the first person that will tell you Voya is a better reviewer. I am the first person. I am not going to doubt that at all. I don't have the attention span. I'm going to tell you, I do not have the attention span to sit there and do what Voya does. He has the patience of an angel. I love the dude, and we're actually talking about doing more and more things together. It's kind of fun how YouTube brings people together, and it's cool. I didn't even know who he was, didn't even know he existed. I started watching some of his reviews the last year or so, and then I started doing my stuff, and we connected. I got to tell you, the guy's awesome. What a good person. Nobody deserves success better than him. And what's cool is, I always say this, with him doing those reviews, right, and doing the deep, I don't want to step on his toes. Like, he's doing such a good job. So when the note error comes, I'm going to do my writing test. I already told him. I said, when are you getting yours? He says, it's coming in next week. And I said, well, when can I tell people you're going to do your deep review? He goes, I'm super swamped with devices, probably the following week. So we're going to have the note air from Voya probably a week after my unboxing. And I may do a couple things, but I won't do what Voya does. I mean, Voya's Voya. He has his thing. I love what he does. I will support him. Because it doesn't make any sense. And that's what makes YouTube great, right? We're trying to provide entertainment and trying to grow, and he just hit 10,000 plus, which was fantastic. We're going to go over 10,000 in the next couple days, maybe today. So it's fun to see somebody else be successful. And I appreciate your friend. And look, I take no offense to somebody who says Voya does better reviews. I'm going to put my hand up and say, yes, he does. And that's what we have him for. Hopefully what I'm going to do is provide you a little some entertainment, some fun, and some energy. I'm going to do some vloggy stuff. I'm trying to get my cameras better so we can get outside and do some crazy stuff. So hopefully this channel evolves and we grow together. Voya can continue to grow and support his channel and his family. That's what it's about, and that's what's super cool. So thanks for bringing that up, YOLO. You rock. Boy, live is better than reviews. You rock, brother. When might come the video about the workflow between the iPad and the RM2? Oh, I will do that. I promise. I'm catching up with stuff, but I love the workflow ideas between the iPad and the RM2. Those are some of my biggest videos. They get like a couple 100,000 views. Kind of surprising. So I do need to get back to those. Are you a Montblanc user? Might want to check out their augmented paper solution. Really, Stefan? Yeah, look. I didn't know about that, Stefan. I have these are my Mont Blancs. I'm a big Mont Blanc fan. These are gifts, by the way. I love them, and I like their writing performance. And of course, I'm old school. Way before e-ink devices, I was actually, before I started as a speaker, I used to buy and sell aircraft. So one of the techniques that we had when we would, and I started with helicopter engines, but then I would do aircraft. So in my late 20s through early 30s, I did my MBA and then my PhD, and I was doing it while I was selling aircraft and aircraft engines and all that stuff. That was my previous career. I'm 13 years in aerospace, and I'm not an engineer, by the way, guys. I was in the sales side, and one of the things was we would take one of these nice Mont Blanc pins and you would set it on the desk. And the reason you'd set it on the desk when you're doing these really high dollar big deals, you want somebody to grab a nice pin and then sign it. And so that's what we used to do, is we'd have these big contracts. I'll never forget, I was sitting down in Air Jamaica 2 days after 9/11. I needed to buy an aircraft from Air Jamaica for the United States to use in some terrorist training. And I had to do it as a civilian. It was a crazy, crazy thing. And I was down there for 2 days in the CEO's office, John Lewis. And I never forget, we finally got the fax in. We agreed to a price. We had it ready to go. My company was going to sell it to the U.S. Department of Defense. And I took my good Mont Blanc pen and I set it down, and John signed that signature. And I got on the plane later and flew from Jamaica back here to South Florida. And we had one of the biggest deals our company's ever made to help actually in that situation. So it was crazy. So Mont Blancs have a little bit of history with me, just sharing. So that's kind of my old school corporate gig back in the day. But thank you for asking. I'm going to check that out. I love the way Paper's team communicates with his clients. VM, there's nobody better, right? That's the thing. Their device has some issues. Beth Ann has one. I know a couple people have issues. I don't think a lot of people a lot of people communicate like they do, right? And you have to have a little patience with their device because it is kind of an older Sony, and they're using their software and they're trying to get it up to speed. It's not that it's a bad device. It's just, that's a Sony, right? Really, and it's a Sony platform, which leads to the, it's not this, right? Which just came out. Now, they are a hardware manufacturer. I have the Quilla coming next week, the 42-inch. That is what they build. So they do have some hardware, but they are getting that device. So there's a little issue there, and we're working through it. But they like actually set up onboarding meetings with all their clients. So you're right. I think they do such a great job. I know they're going to keep getting better because of the way they act. And you have to support somebody like that. You don't have to be perfect with me. Just continue to work to get better. And that's why I like a company like that. As long as they're doing that, that's great. Hey, I'm glad to see you. Sean, good to see you. Just made the name Ace of Base. I like it. I remember Ace of Base was like a group or something in the 80s, I think. Looking forward to the Note Air. I have the RM2 on the way. Nice. Yeah, I think we're all waiting for Monday. I know I am. How do you have so many subs? I only have 51. I have no idea. I have no idea. I just keep putting great content out there. I am 51. Does that matter? No, I think it's just... YouTube's a funny thing. I put videos out every day, and there's a lot of people that don't like them, but there's people that do, and you just keep working. That's the key thing. Thanks for asking, though. Just keep putting content out, and you'll figure it out. Look, I've been doing this 12 years. For 10 years, nothing worked. The Remarkable videos took off, so I found out what people really like, I'm pretty sure that doesn't belong here, but I'm just so hyped about Oculus Quest 2. Want to share your thoughts? It does belong here. Everything belongs here. We're a community. I don't have a thought on it, but I need to have a thought on it. I don't know. That's an area that I need to get into, something I need to look into. Thank you for asking. I'm going to go into it. I'm going to research it. I personally like the Note Air form factor. I do too. I think that's why I think the Note Air could be a killer device. We'll see. It's very similar to the RM2. Yes. So RM1 Supernote and Lumi isn't usable for real work, as you said. You're not using them for that. No. It's tough. No, they're great. It's just like other people have said, I have so many devices that it's hard for me to jump. Because look, if I was a full-time YouTuber, let's say this is what I did for a living, and I just stuck with YouTube. Right now, YouTube is a hobby, and it's fun, and I'm doing it because I enjoy it, and I'm meeting people like you, right? That's why I'm doing it. My real job, as you know, is coaching, doing my podcasts and my masterminds and writing my books. So when I'm not doing that, I fill it in with this stuff and spending 3 to 4 hours a day. Previously, I took up golf, and I tend to golf 4 times a week, sometimes 5 times a week. Yes, I suck sometimes, I'm good sometimes, just like this. But I understand the power of doing stuff every day, and that's why I'm trying to do this. Maybe one day I'll go increase the quality and go to once a week. But right now, I'm enjoying this, and the reason I'm sprinting like this is because I'm trying to learn the cameras, and I'm trying to learn how to do it. But why I'm sprinting in this and doing so many things, it's hard for me to grab a Lumi and go, okay, let me try to figure out how to do this on it when the Remarkable 2 already works. I hope that makes sense. So there's nothing wrong with it. Or grab the Supernote. I have it so I can test it, but I don't use it in my workflow, not because it's a bad device. It's just because I'm really busy, and I get up, I do my stuff, I got to do my podcast, and I got to try to figure out what video I'm going to shoot. I got to, do my regular business and do all this, play golf or whatever in a day. So it's hard for me to just sit down and go, okay, I'm going to spend 2 hours with the Lumi and then figure out if it fits in my workflow. So it's not a bad device or any of them, right? I just haven't had a chance, the Supernote or the Lumi, to just grab them and stick them in there yet because we've been so busy. And so many devices are coming out, the Remarkable 2 and now the Note Air, and the Quilla's coming, so I haven't even had a break to kind of breathe. And that's what me and Voya were talking about. It's crazy. There's just a lot of stuff coming out. Mike says, okay, estimated delivery 1020, batch 2. I love it. They're starting to come. Which one do you think is great design? Slim Sony, $60 versus the Max Lumi case. VM, that's a good question. I have not bought the Slim Sony, and I need to. I don't have a case for my paper. The Lumi device, one thing good about it is it shuts on and shuts off with it. So they did a good job with it. The case, I've actually asked QuirkLogic for their suggestions. They said just get a Sony one. So I don't have one, so I don't have an opinion on that. But I do need to order one. I need to get a case for my paper. I haven't been out traveling much, as many of us haven't. and I need to get back into that, especially as my speaking schedule starts working in. Hey, bank guy, he won the Moby Scribe. There he is, using for Quit Jots. I love it. See, he did get it. Guys, I told you, when I do giveaways, I do them. Okay, bank guy got it. Some people say, oh, this is a setup. No, it isn't. And we're going to be doing a lot more giveaways in the future on this show. I just haven't had time to sit down and organize. For those of you that don't know, just to kind of put some things in perspective, I'm running the house by myself. I don't have any children, but it's still a lot. I have a big 110-pound dog. You see him come in once at a time. Neo, he's my boy. But my wife is in Colombia, and she's been there since March because of COVID. So it's really hard. She's like a little bit of a teammate of mine that helps with a lot of things. And so I'm stuck doing everything. So I just I've had a hard time getting to everything, like setting up some things and doing some stuff. So just, if you could be patient, it's hard for me because I got to be always a positive guy, but I'm dealing with some stress in my life too on the backside that I'm trying to do. So, and that's why I love this community, because everybody's pretty positive and they're hanging in there with me. But I'm doing my best, right? And I'm going to continue to do it. But that's why I haven't had any giveaways. But we're going to do all that stuff when I get a little more organized. If you can see my office, you can kind of see it. I mean, those papers down there, I'm trying. I mean, it's just a lot to do by yourself, and especially when your significant other is stuck in another country. And we have places in Colombia, so it's not like she's in an apartment. We have a couple of places down there. We spend a lot of time, which you will see on the show, especially as I start getting back there post-COVID. But right now we're separate, and it makes it a little more difficult. Should I get an iPad Pro or a Remarkable 2 specifically for book reading in the dark? Oh, YOLO, that's so hard. If you're going to read books in the dark, get a Kobo. Get a Kobo, man. Spend $250 on a Kobo than either of those devices. I'm telling you, you would absolutely love it. You would absolutely love it. It's my favorite device. I mean, I would get a Kobo in a heartbeat over both those devices for reading. I do not use the iPad Pro in bed. I don't like the screen. And the Remarkable 2 is a decent reader, but it just doesn't compete with the Kobo for reading. And I know you probably don't want to hear that answer, but I'm telling you, you would never look back if you got the right reader and just went with it, because you're kind of, forcing something into something that it isn't. Because with the Remarkable 2, it's not front lit. So you're going to have a light on when you're reading. I go to bed, I should do a video on this. I take my Kobo, turn off the light, and I sit there and read, and it's just fantastic. I mean, I'm telling you, it's one of the best investments I've made. And I didn't use my Onyx, I can't remember the name of it, the Amazon one that I have. I didn't use it as much because it wasn't as big, and it just didn't, the form factor wasn't as good. That Kobo Forma has been really, really good. Beth Ann, love the podcast. Working through the Sacred Six. When will the new system launch for paid members? We're going to be doing that real soon, so I will keep you informed, Beth Ann. Thank you for asking that too. I really appreciate it, and I love you. I love that you love the podcast. I'm working on it. We're getting a new journal developed, and we got a big coaching system coming into the year soon, Beth Ann. I'll keep you posted. Thanks. Superfly, the issue with all these devices coming and fast is like yourself. You feel like you're getting all of them. Your reviews help, of course, to separate the wheat from the chaff. Yeah, it's tough. There's so many devices coming in. I'm just trying to do my best to try to keep people, to give you the best. And then we use Voya if you really want to dive super deep into stuff. Have you tried the carbon copy pen by Boogie Board? I haven't. I have a Boogie Board back here. I got the Boogie Board, but I haven't tried the carbon copy. I will check that out for you, and thanks for that. Oh, you love the Sacred Six. Thanks for reading my book. I appreciate that. AJ, morning all. What did I miss? I don't know. We're just cranking through stuff here. We're having fun. I based it the copy if you need. Okay, Brian, that would be great. Let me know how that worked. That's pretty cool. Can you import files from the RM2 to your computer and put them on Google Drive? Vince, no, not yet. Not that I know of. People are hacking it. I'm going to hack my Remarkable 1. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm not very technical, but I'm going to try to do it anyways. Yes, you can, but you have to convert them. There you go. See? YOLO. Coming through. You can, but you got to convert them. Okay? So that is good. So you got to convert the format. See? We have the smartest subscribers in the world. I say that, and people say, you're just saying that. No, I'm serious. We have awesome people. Hey, Kevin from London, VM. Exactly. PDF updates on the paper. That's what I want, VM. On this day, Venus is 243 Earth days. Cool. Kobe, hey, man, good to see you. I appreciate your energy, a lot of the inks. Thank you, and transparency. I appreciate it, Christian. I do. That's just what I do. I mean, luckily, here's the deal. I've built my life, so I've got a lot of people that support me as in clients, so I don't really have to worry about what other people think. If they don't like me, they don't like me, you know? So I'm very blessed in that fact that I've worked really hard to build relationships with real people who support my work. And in doing that, I don't really have to worry if I say something bad or say something wrong because they know me and they're not going to go somewhere else. I thought that Supernova A6X runs Android. It does. That is a great point, Kobe. It does, but it's not the Android 10 as in the Onyx. That's a great point, Kobe. The A6X does run Android, but it's a different version. It's not the Android 10. At least it doesn't feel like it. It may. Now I got another thing to look at. I love it. You guys are the best. Books Nova 2 is a 7.8 device that runs Android 9. I got to really keep rocking this thing. You guys are smoking these comments. I've been writing some strange things. Yeah, some batch 3s are getting before batch 2s. I know. I think a lot of that has to do with the warehousing in China. I don't think that has to do with Remarkable. Oh boy, I'm catching up. The thing is, River doesn't tell you how you can make practical use of the device. Yeah, well, it is what it is. I mean, I'm trying to bring practical use cases. That's what we're trying. Being patient, I love this. I tried the Max Lumi, but the PDF handling disappointed me. The outline of the chapters that I imported are gone. Hey, Rick. Yeah, and the Max Lumi's okay. Like I said, it's good. All these devices are good. I don't know if any of them are great, and I think that's why the Remarkable's sticking with just note-taking. Because when you start to add all these different features, it's really hard to do anything really awesome. The Lumi's still a great device. Voya says, he won't even try to apply the screen protector. Yeah, I suck at it. I'm trouble. Okay, we got good comments here. Hi from Ireland. I love it. Haven't seen any shout-outs based on bang for your buck. Would you consider one? I think the Remarkable 2 price point makes it a winner, but would you be interested in your point of view? That's a good question. A bang for your buck. What do you get the most money for? It really depends on your use case. Again, a lot of this goes, each person has something different, but yeah, I think the Remarkable 2 is a great device for the money. I think it's fantastic. I think the Kobo is a great device for the money. I love that. So there's a Kindle Oasis for reading. There you go. I like the Kobo better than the Kindle Oasis, but that's why we have a community, right? The opinion is valid. If I had to grab an Oasis, which I have, or the Kobo, I can tell you I had the Oasis for 3 years and never really used it that much, and the Kobo I use every day. And that's just a different experience, you know? Gosh, this is great. We're getting so many cool comments. I'm trying to catch up a little bit in the next 10 minutes. Did you full review? Why is the Kobo better? Frankly, never tried it. Just Kindle years ago, but as listening become more. I don't know. The Kobo just works. It just works. The form factor, the buttons, the font style, the screen quality, the ease of use. I mean, some things just work. Like the Remarkable 2 to me just works. The Remarkable 1 just works. The Kobo just works. I think the Oasis, because I had to try to. It was a little bit smaller, and I tried to make the font bigger. Then the page didn't have as much writing on it, and I was flipping pages so fast. Where the Kobo form, is that right form factor where you get enough substance. I read pretty quick, but you get enough substance that you're not clicking all the time. Where the Oasis, I feel because of my eyes, if you can read small font, you're okay. You make it a little bigger, and then you have just so little information that you're just constantly clicking. I think hopefully that makes sense. And that's why I like the Kobo. A couple people ask, and that's why I like the Kobo. It's the Kobo Forma is the one that I use. I got it by my bed. I should have grabbed it, but it's just the form factor is just better. I'm going to get it. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. So if you look at it, here's why I like it. Like, this is a Kobo Forma. If you look at a book, right? Look at the book. See what I'm saying? It's like the perfect size. Where the Oasis, I have it over here somewhere. I thought I had it over here. The Oasis is a little bit smaller than this, right? So when you turn it on, let's swipe up. It's just perfect. See that? This is Moby Dick, which is a little bit smaller font. But see how that font, it's just, to me, that's perfect size. It's waterproof. I mean, I don't know. It's just, to me, this is like one of my favorite devices. And I use it every day. It fits in your hand, so I'm just clicking this little button here to turn the pages. If I go a little slow, I click back. But I'm just reading, bum, 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 bum. And like I said, I think the reason I like it so much is it's like really the same size as a book. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But I love this device. It's not too heavy. It just works, you know? Okay, good, sweet, good stuff. Are you buying the MacBook Silicon? Yes, I will. Apple gets my money. They get my money for everything. I'll be buying an iPad Air. I'll be buying, typically I just flip my computers. I do a resale in. I just bought a new computer for this. I have 2 screens here if you see my desktop setup, and I use a MacBook Pro. One of the things I do want to do is once the channel grows, I would like to get a little more dedicated video machine. That way I can work a little bit harder. For me, it's all about time. And so the money and time thing is a key thing because, you know, I want to do videos as much as I can. I want to produce as much quality content as I can. So I need something that can work as fast as I can. This works good, but I think the Silicon's going to be great. Super chat. Oh, wow. I got a super chat. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't even know what that is, but I appreciate that. It's $5. So thank you so much, Robert. Any idea if the cancellations will impact the order in which customers receive the Remarkable 2? Robert, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I don't even know what that stuff is. I'm learning about it, but that's super cool. Yes, I think that they're doing, I think they're on schedule. I've been researching this every day. I've been asking you as the subscribers. I've been in the Facebook group. I'm checking other channels like Voya's. I'm seeing what's going on. Also going my personal experience with the Onyx products out of China. The latest things that are going on, the funkiness, I do not believe are dealing with the manufacturing issues with Remarkable. I believe they're dealing with, and like they said, the Golden Week and the Typhoon. They put them in a warehouse, and then that warehouse has to organize them and get them to DHL. And I think that's where the breakdown is. My Note Air stayed 5 days in that warehouse. So I think they're producing them as fast as they can. They're shipping them out, and I think they're going by delivery. And I think some batch 3s are getting them before batch 2s because of the warehouse issue. And again, I don't think Remarkable. I think that's a fulfillment issue. You can quote me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is a issue with the shipping fulfillment companies out of China. Customs, right? And they're going through customs. So when they're in that warehouse, not only are they transferring to DHL, but they're also dealing with customs issues. So that's why we're getting a little bit of delay. I personally believe in all the research I'm doing. So if you hang in there, I think worst case, you're a week out from where they're saying, but it seems like pretty much everybody is getting the shipping out there. So it's great. But I don't think the Kobo have any functionalities on the PDFs. VM, no, they don't. This is a reader. Like, guys, this is a reader. That's all it is. That's all I use it for, just so you know. So I read on Kindle products have changed to Mobi or non-DRM, right? Yes. So I believe so. Beth Ann, but I got to check that again. Thanks for showing the Kobo. No, it is. This is a great device. I love this. And some people like the Oasis. Sarah's coming in with the Oasis. So don't hammer me. But like I said, where is my Oasis? All I can tell you is what I have done. Some people like it a little bit smaller, right? And that would be the Oasis. So that's why I love the subscribers here. Hey, David said we're at 9.93. Yay, we're almost there. 70 more people will hit 10,000. Thanks. Hey, good afternoon, Nightmare. I love that name. Can you compare the size by putting the Remarkable on landscape and the paper on portrait? Let me see if I can do that real quick. So you want the Remarkable on landscape? Hold on, let's see. I don't usually use it in landscape. So if you're saying like that. So it would be landscape, and you're saying the paper. Where is my paper device? I put the Lumi on it. So you're saying you want to see this. You want to see this like that. Like, let me move my microphone 1 second. Hold on. Let me move my mic out of the way. So there's the paper. That's landscape, Remarkable, and that's the paper. And if you go landscape, right? And if you do them both that way, okay, let's put the Does that make sense? Am I doing any good here? Okay. So if we do that way. I don't know. Is that helping? Is that helping at all? I hope that's helping. Okay. I hope that helped. I'm trying. Let me get my microphone back here. Thanks for your help. I found your channel. I'm between the Quaderno and paper in your head-to-head comparison. I saw Quaderno is better and clearer. Your advice, please, between them. Okay, so here's the deal. Right now, I've said this, and this is very important. The Quaderno has some advantages, but the paper has some advantages against the Quaderno. If I didn't know the Quaderno existed, the paper's great, but it's so hard. So the only thing that I would tell you is if you don't mind this thing here, then I would go with the paper, because the paper is they're just supporting more than Fujitsu. Fujitsu is so huge that you're not getting the support that you're getting from these guys. Yes, it's a tiny bit clearer. I mean, a tiny bit. The contrast, maybe. You get split screen on this. You should have split screen on this soon. But the difference is you have like super customer support. Okay? So that's what the difference is between these. So you can kind of make a decision. They're both great devices. I just think you're going to get more support from these guys over time. And that's what makes a difference. So do you want a little clearer device at this point, or do you want to get something where the people are going to work with you and continue to upgrade and make the device better? I think that's the difference. Maybe Fujitsu will. I don't know. Maybe they will, but that's the challenge, right? So I'm really, really satisfied with the paper and their upgrades and their communication with their clients. The device needs work. It's in the second iteration of the software, actually the first update. So we know it needs work, but they are working on it. And I've seen the split screen. And when the split screen comes, I'm going to put it right next to the Quaderno. And if they make the PDF reader a little bit better, it's going to surpass it. Okay? So that's great. And so just so you know. So they're so close that it's hard for me to tell you go buy one or the other. I just like the customer support and service of the paper. They're constantly working and trying to solve problems for their customers. And that's good. That's a good thing, right? Sarah says, I meant you can compare the Oasis to the Kobo. I have the Oasis. Sorry for the confusion. No, it's okay. Can you compare it? Yeah, I was looking for my Oasis. I don't know where it is. It's just a little bit smaller. Hold on. Give me 1 minute. Let me just look to see if it's right here. I was just, my wife's in Colombia, and I said, I need your help. Just come back and help, because she's such a great organizer. Like, she knows where to put everything. She's so solid. And right now, I'm getting more devices coming in, and I'm trying to find them and put them in shelf spaces. I'm trying to organize them properly, and obviously, I'm not doing a good job of it. But I would do that next Tech Talk Thursday. I will have my Oasis so we can take a look at each of them, okay? So you can compare the sizes. It's just a little smaller. And the problem is then it seems like not a lot of stuff fits on the page. That's why. Hey, I don't speak English well, and I understand 70% of what you're saying. Oh, that's so cool. Thanks. I appreciate that, Alex. Peter, thank you. How heavy is the Lumini when used as a reader? Can it be? It's heavy. This sucker is heavy. We'll end this in a minute. This is heavy. I'm going to tell you, it's not as heavy as an iPad, but it's heavy. But yeah, you can hold it in one hand. I'm not the strongest person, but it is heavy. It's more of a two-hand. It's a heavy, heavy device. Okay, that's why I think the Note Air might be a better form factor if you're going to use it as a reader. How does a Limey stylus have any function buttons? I love their fountain pens. Hey, does it? I don't know. I got to get into the stylus more. I haven't used any on it, but supposedly it does. I haven't used it. Like the Sonys, they're so you can see them, but the Lamy I haven't seen. And which stand do you use for the paper and the Lumi? The stand I use is, this is a 12 South compass used for an iPad. The Lumi comes with one. It's in the other room. It's a plastic one. It works, but I've always used this. So I actually use the Remarkable 2. I set it on there. Anything that I'm using that I'm reading, I use this. It's a compass for 12 South, which actually is made for the iPad. It's a great question. Well, thanks, everybody, as always, for tuning in to Tech Thursdays. We'll be back here next week at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've got to head. I'm going to eat some lunch and take off, but I really appreciate you. I appreciate the support, and thank you for getting us to 10,000. I know we're going to do that soon. And as always, just leave comments. This takes about I don't know, it takes about 12 hours to render, so other people get to read the comments. So if you want to continue to put comments, that's fantastic because it helps other people. Now I say this is a community, not a channel. It really is, and I really, really, really appreciate your support. And we have more videos coming this week. That Note Air Monday, get ready for it. All right, thanks everybody. Hey, there's a community section that I put a lot of information to. Check that. And if you need anything, okay? And we will get to that. One last question. Hey, JB, is it possible that batch 2 is still shipping and the batch 3, which is October, is still in their depots? Yes. I would be patient. Batch 2 is still coming. It's coming. It's just the warehouse issues are a problem. Thank you so much, everybody. Again, I really appreciate you. Go have a fantastic day. I just send you massive energy and good luck and good blessings. We all need a little bit more of that today. Thanks for being a part of us here. Thank you. Go have a great day.